Today we're doing another story from the Manga theater book, and I can't believe to say this, but we're on the second last story of this book, and like I said in the other video, this has been an interesting adventure, and even though this is like Akira's work of progress going through all these stories from the beginning all the way to pretty much Dragon Ball Z era, and that this is incredible, the work he's been through, and I'm actually really excited I got a chance to read this because this just shows a lot about what comes from an artistic person, so I think it's really awesome. But anyways, let's talk about the story today, which is called Dub and Peter1. So the whole point of this story is about a guy that just really wants to get girls. That's pretty much how this whole story is. Even though yes, there's about 4 chapters of this story, it is very connected all together, so that's why we're doing all the chapters today instead of just one. But anyways, this story is about Dub, who is trying to get a girl, and the only way he can think of getting a girl is by getting a car. He asks his friend, who is a very smart man, who literally can pretty much make anything out of any kind of scrap metal. So he helps him to make a nice vehicle, but instead of just a regular vehicle, he makes him a very fast car, which he was very happy, excited, and he took it off onto the streets, of course, to see if he can pick up a girl that he knows from high school. Unfortunately, he realizes that there's only one seat in the car. So, of course, he goes back to Pete, very angry, saying, like, I want an extra seat. How am I supposed to pick up girls if there's no seats in this car? So, yes, he gets an extra seat, and sure enough, he adds more to the car, which is more of, like, an enhancement for a computerized. So now, this car that's called Peter1 now has a brain, but instead of just calling him Dub, he calls him Tubby, which for some reason he thought Peter said this, not the car. I loved it. That was a great scene. But anyways, he goes out to see if he can find the ladies, and sure enough, the car doesn't know exactly what good looking ladies are, and sure enough, he pretty much gets mad at Peter once again, and this time he had to make sure to evaluate the computer, make sure he knows what kind of type Dub likes. So anyways, they finally go out one last time on the road to finally find somebody, and sure enough, they do find an attractive woman, but the only thing about this one is that this woman is pretty much being taken care of. Like, she's about to, like, pretty much be taken into a car and probably taken away forever. But Dub steps in and pretty much is like, I'm here for this woman, not you. I'm taking her. Pretty much they get into a little fist fight, I guess, with his assistant. But sure enough, then it turns into a gunfight, sort of. I guess a gun in a fist fight. I don't know how you want to call it. But sure enough, the car actually has more features to it, which shoots a baseball out of the guy's hand, and he is pretty much ready to knock the guy out. But anyways, the guy gives him a deal really quickly before he gets pummeled, which is, we're racing. So how about we race, and you'll get $1 million in Zenny, and you get the girl. So even though the girl's trying to, like, say, like, hey, hello, why don't I get a word in this? Like, why can I not say something? But sure enough, they both are agreed, and now they are ready to go racing. Now, this is where the final chapter pretty much ends it off, where the final race begins. So they're taking off, of course, and sure enough, Dub has the fastest car right off the bat, and they're trying to stop him. They're trying anyways to, like, make him, like, slow down or whatever the case is, but then sure enough, they get to the point where they go into an airplane, I guess you could say, or like an automatic plane, I guess. I don't know what you call a car plane. I don't know. But sure enough, they fly over Dub, and the car's like, hey, we can fly too. So they take off, they start flying, and then sure enough, they're shooting at each other at the next minute, and even though, yes, Dub got shot down, unfortunately, and he's back on the road as a car, the car says, I have one last thing up my sleeve. So shoots a missile at, blows the car smithereens, and that is pretty much the last part where now this guy just pretty much is running. But I love how they just finish off the guy. They pretty much shoot him with another baseball to the back of the head to literally finish the guy off and knock him out. Sure enough, Dub gets to the finish line, and now he's all excited and happy. He got 10 million Zenny from the guy, of course, and then by the time he gets back, he finds out that she is married. So a little bit of a downer on his part, but unfortunately, you can't do much about it. And I just love how this story goes, the journey, just to get what he wanted. You know, his one goal is to try to do what he could, and sure enough, it ended off where he didn't get to the goal, unfortunately. But I love how he went on this little mini journey. he got into a fist fight with this gang, I guess. I don't know if you call them a gang, but there's kind of something like it. And then sure enough, we got this really cool race out of it. So I love the experience and like the nice little journey that Dub goes through, and I think it's a complete awesome story. I'm gonna give this story a 9 out of 10 just because it's that good. There's a lot of things to this story that I think is really, really cool, and I will say, yes, there's gonna be probably some moments I feel like they can really expand on this story if they wanted to, or just make it, you know, little tweaks here and there. I'm not gonna lie, especially with some, you know, weird remarks. I'm not gonna lie, there's one thing I'm probably not gonna allow to be shown because of what he says, but anyways, if they could address that maybe a little differently, that'd be awesome. But other than that, I think it was really cool for a story, and I love it for that purpose, and I just think it's a really awesome story. So you guys could check it out if you guys want to. I think it's a really cool story. I recommend it to anybody who likes like a car racing story, the action in it, everything. It's just really awesome. But anyways, guys, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hit that like for more, subscribe new, of course. And now we are going to the final story. Now, the next one is going to be a longer story, and it does seem like it is going to be not a continuation, just like this story was with the 4 chapters. So we're going to have to probably break it up, maybe into a few chapters here and there, depending on how this story goes. But other than that, guys, hope you guys watching. Hit like for more, subscribe if new, of course, and I will see you, of course, in the next videos. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.